Hey guys, Mr. Riz here. I'm going to help you out with the pig dice game. So I have this just Ripple page open. What you want to do is make sure every time you start, we're going to fork this project, and then I'm also going to rename this as, I'm going to put my name, well, actually it has a name, but pig dice game part 1. Now I'm going to put example here just because I'm going through it, and we'll go through, oh, and there's a P there. Okay, so we're going to just make the code from scratch here. We've played the pig game for a while and we understand how it works, but we're going to build from it from different iterations. So the game's going to start off like nothing like the game, but we'll make sure we can go through all of this together. So we want to create a pig dice game that the player can get the player's name, roll 2 dice. When we roll the 2 dice, we show the user the 2 dice that were rolled. We import the random module from random.IT, and then, okay, so that should help us. We got to import a random. We get the total score to print off after each turn, and we clear the screen by using the import ripple module and use ripple.clear method. Okay, so let's first kind of just start the game out by giving the player's name. So let's just call it player equals import, or not input. Let me zoom up so you guys can see this a little bit here. What is your name? Okay. Yeah, I'll put a space there. All right, so we'll get their name, or maybe actually let's call it player name. Okay, and then maybe let's like welcome them to the game. So print welcome, comma, player name, comma, to the pig dice game. Okay. Next, let's get them to roll. Now, what I like to do here is I'm going to do just a straight up input blank. So you guys can see what's going to happen here is we get what's your name, and they could type it in. It says, welcome Justin to the pig dice game. Now I'm press enter. Now, if I didn't have this, I'll show you what we're going to do next. Next, let's get a dice roll. Well, to get the dice roll, we have to import the random module. So remember, any imports need to be the first line of code. So we're going to import random. It's a random module. And I can make, die1 equal to random.rand int 1, 6, meaning die1 is going to be a random choice of a number from 1 to 6. And that's what a die roll is. And die2 would equal the same thing. Now we have to keep them as separate because there's a chance, die1 could be different than die2. If we didn't keep them separate, they would be the same thing every time we roll. All right, so let's do print you rolled a die1 and die2. Okay, so let's just show you what that little input break that I have in the middle is going to do. So it says, what is your name? Justin. Welcome to the pig dice game. So I have a blank here that I have to press enter. It says you rolled a 6 and a 3. Okay. So that's it. So if the game's over. Now, if I didn't have this input, let's just kind of watch what this does. It's, if I say, what is your name, Justin? It says, welcome to the pig dice game. You rolled a 3 and a 5. So it doesn't give you kind of like a break. It just jumps right into the game. So I like to use these input breaks here, just straight up input. They don't have to be equal to anything. All that does is allow the user to press break. Okay. So, what would be nice too if like the screen could clear, because otherwise this is going to build. Actually, we can do that later. Let's keep this going. So we need to have a total, right? So this total needs to start up, and we're going to keep rolling these dice into a total. So let's do total equals 0 at the beginning. So right after our input, with total equals 0. Hey, what's up? Hey, Parchment's not here today. Okay, so we'll have a total equals 0. And then if you think about it, we're going to kind of have this die rolling thing and in a loop. Okay, so let's go ahead, and before we do the input, we'll say like while the total is less than 100. Now we need to make sure that all this here is tabbed in. And let's see. We should show them, okay, so they roll their 2 dice. Die 1, die 2 gets rolled. We show them what they roll, and then we should kind of tell them their total. So like a total equals what the total was before plus die 1 plus die 2. So your total was 0. It's going to equal 0 plus whatever your 2 totals were. And then let's print that off to them. Print your total is total. Okay, so let's run this. Let's see what happens. So what is your name? I'm going to type my name in. Welcome to the pig dice game. We have the first input break. Now when I press enter here, it should start the while loop. Okay, so a lot just tapped in right there. And as we could see, a lot of it wasn't broken down. So maybe we should have some input breaks just to kind of slow this down a little bit. So maybe after we show them what their die is, let's do an input break. After that, and then after we get their total, let's put another input break. So I'm just putting input after those. So now when I run this, let me run this again. It's being really weird. Okay, I'm just going to refresh my page here. Ripple's been going through some updates, and so sometimes your page won't run the way it should. All right, got those here. Let's run this. What is your name? Justin, pig dice game. You rolled a 4 and a 2. Your total is 6. You rolled a 3 and a 5. Your total is 14. You rolled a 3 and a 2. Total is 19. Rolled a 4 and a 1. Total is 20. Okay, so you can see now it goes at the pace that the user can read, but you can see this just keeps going down and down and down and down and down. Okay, so we got to a total that's 100. The game should be over since the user got to 100. Okay, so what we want to do now is, like, instead of doing all this, let's try to clear the screen after each input break. So the way we can do that is by doing import Ripple. There's a lot of different ways. I think we did this differently in the Hangman, but just to show you guys another one, we have Ripple IT. And so after the input break here, we'll just show you the first one here. We're going to do Ripple IT.clear. So let's show you what's going on. It's being weird and funky right now. I might have to refresh the browser, which that seems to be. Yep, it looks like that's what I'm going to have to do. Let's reload the browser. Get the engine going. Let's press play. Okay, so it's this. You can see it's going to upload a little bit more because we are getting the random and the Ripple module. And so it's going through all the updates possible before it runs. Okay, there we go. It says, "What is your name?" Type in Justin. Welcome to the pig dice game. Now, normally we just have this input break, and you see if right after it, we're going to have the clear, and you went back up to roll 5. So let's see, we probably want it to clear, we want to have the pause after we see the dice and then total, but let's clear this out. Instead of having this keep going out, let's clear this out after the second input break. So there we go. After we see the total, we'll have it clear out. So stop. Okay, so let's see what this one looks like. Justin, welcome to the pig dice game. You rolled a 2 and a 5. Your total was 7. You rolled a 2 and a 1. Your total was 10. All right, so now the game looks a little bit neater in the terminal. It's easier to read. It's only in one section. It's not going like as a big long string all the way down. We don't have to read it like it's a scroll or anything, like we're a wizard. But we're going through. Okay. So it looks pretty good, and the game's over. Okay, so once you have the game set up like so, this is done with part 1. Go ahead and share the URL to Canvas, and you guys should be good for part 2. And I'll see you guys there for next time. All right, you guys have a great day. See you.